Hello students, welcome back. Previously we discussed the syllabus. Now let's go to modules. All these lesson modules are arranged week by week. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all the way up to week 16. But there are some additional modules too. Some modules by Cengage. And then first two modules, basically a bunch of fine prints, which nobody cares. I wrote this only because I was required to, not because it's interesting to any students. Most students skip all those. Now week 1, week 1 is a bit special because we have week 0 materials as well. Week 0, of course, means the review materials on preliminaries. Most students skip these, by the way. And then we have week 1, and those are review materials too, as a matter of fact. The real calculus begins from week 2, by the way. And week 3, week 4, week 5, same structure. And week 8, that's the exam week, so things are a bit different. Week 9, week 10, and so on. And week 15, that's the exam week, so a little bit different. Okay, let me show you the inside. Let's go to week 1. Week 1 is a bit special. It looks like this. Welcome videos, which I'm recording right now. And then overview, objectives, and instructions. Some fine prints, which nobody cares. But let me tell you a bit about the instructions. My suggestion is to open the lesson notebook and study with the lesson videos together. In order to open the next book, Wolfram Mathematica or Wolfram Player will be required, alright? Remember those? Remember this? From syllabus we had this required software, and that'll lead you to this. And then click this red button, start downloading, and follow the instruction to install this. And from that point on, you can read my lesson notebook. So reading the lesson notebook will be required. If you just watch the lesson videos, basically you're just watching somebody else doing mathematics. What you can learn is limited like that. I want you to study more actively with lesson notebook. I'll show you. Here are the lesson materials here, but week 0 still week 0, so this is not required, just recommended learning materials. The structure is like this. We have class note. Let me get the class note. And let me open it. So it looks like this, and you can open it if you have Wolfram Player. And speaking of Wolfram Player, that information is emphasized again here in every module. Let's go back to the lesson notebook. Okay, apparently it has 4 sections. How do you go inside each section? Well, do you see these drop-down menus here? Click that and you have more subsections. Let's go to subsection 1.1, drop-down menu. You have more. Okay, let's go to subsection. So what do you see? Sets and elements, roster notation, set builder notation, blah blah blah. Yeah, everybody should remember all those. Okay, close it, and let's move on to next subsection, and then the next, and so on. That's how you can go through these lesson notebook. Another way is to highlight this cell in the right hand side, and then double click to open, and double click to close. Drop down menu, open or close. It's the same. Personally, I prefer to do it this way on the right, but you can choose whatever you want to. Let's see. Let's go to 2.2. Remember the distance formula by Pythagorean rule. Remember? Horizontal squared plus vertical squared is hypotenuse squared. So in order to get this distance, you have to take the square root of that. Remember that? And then that leads to the circle formula. Remember this? Okay, those kind of things are all available in the lesson notebook. Now let me show you the lesson videos. Let's see. Shall I open this one, for instance? And let me kill the sound. Yeah, okay, it's already killed. And then lesson must be going on here. Let's see. You'll never see my face there, but lesson notebook, and then you can go ahead. Okay. Some example problems are there, and then apparently I'm explaining something there. Let's go a bit further. Yeah, something further. Okay, all these are available, and please recognize that everything is based upon the same notebook that I showed you. Okay, all right. So much for the demonstration. And by the way, in case you're worried about copyright and things like that, no worries. I created all those myself, lesson notebook, lesson videos. I created all those, so there's no copyright issue. Okay, so much for week 0. And from week 1, the real deal begins. Overview, objectives and instructions, and then the next we have the lesson materials, class notes and lesson videos. You can study similarly, except that these are going to be real deal, starting from week 1. As a matter of fact, still a review to tell the truth. Real calculus begins from week 2. Okay, all right, that's the structure. And then let me see, let me show you a bit further in week 8, because this is exam week, so that's a bit special too. So study for the exam, and then instead of lesson notebook, we have practice exam problems, and then some homework answer keys are there. And then as for practice exam problem set, it's not active yet, of course. I'll post something when you get close to exam time. And then as for the answer keys, yeah, they're locked until February 24th. And until March the 2nd, like that. Let's go back. And then these are the dates where the homework answer keys will be open. And then once the homework answer keys are open, that means no more homework submission. Alright, and week 9 and 10, all those are normal weeks again. And then weeks 15 will be exam weeks, so it's going to be like that too. Okay, so much for the module structure. I hope everybody, good luck. Everybody would succeed here, I hope. Alright. I'll see you again for lesson video number 3. That's where we're going to talk about the assignments.